I'm here in room 11, Sweetwater Springs. This was Sue's room for so many years before she retired, and I inherited it. And she so generously passed on so many books and supplies to me that now surround me here and make me think of her daily. And I'm remembering what a beautiful, awesome person that Sue is. She, when I came and joined the kindergarten team, she really took me under her wing and was just so kind. And she gave me the respect of a colleague, but with the loving care of a mother. And she always made sure that I had ideas, I had resources, that I could keep moving forward. And I know she was a teacher who loved what she did. She really cared about the students, and she did a great job teaching them the academics, but she also made school an enriching place where kids really learned more about the world and got to do art. And I know that they are better for having been in her class. And while it's really heartbreaking that we lost Sue so early, I know that she lived a really rich and meaningful life and impacted thousands of lives. And this world is a better place for her having been in it. Miss you, Sue.
Hi, this is Sweetwater. No, we're not Sweetwater. What were we? La Mesa Dale. This is the La Mesa Dale Book Club. And we would like to get together today to honor one of our dear, dear friends, Sue Burdick. Helena, you probably have the best stories of Sue because you spent so much time with her. You guys were good pals, weren't you?
Yes.
What can you tell us about Sue?
We spent a lot of time walking together. So we walked together at the lake for years and years. Thank you, Amy, for helping us, for starting us off on that journey. But Sue, the thing that really always amazed me about Sue is how smart she was, just how much she knew. So we would walk the lake and she would just, pick up a flower off the ground, the tiniest little thing. I'm like, why is she picking that weed? And she would say, do you know what this is? Of course I didn't. And she would not only tell me its regular name, but then also just, rattle off the scientific name of this plant that she just spotted on the ground. But she was always super excited about those things. She loved nature. She loved being in nature. I think that's one of the reasons that I enjoyed being around her so much. Awesome. That and her generosity. One thing that Sue would do, I learned, it took me a little while, a few times to learn not to do this, but one time I was sitting with her at the Starbucks before we were walking, and she had this beautiful necklace on. And I was like, Sue, that is a beautiful necklace. It just really matches what you're wearing so well. It's just gorgeous. And she's like, oh, you like this here? And she just took it off and put it on me. And I'm like, no, yes. And then I did that one more time with, she was wearing a ring. She was wearing this ring. And what a beautiful ring. Oh, here. She was generous. So
that's why I never asked her for her dress or her clothes that she had on.
There you go. And I finally learned to stop. So I finally learned to stop doing that. But then she figured out another way to share her things with us, not just her wealth of kindness and information, but also share her love of jewelry.
Yes, I agree. She was so very generous, and I'm wearing rings that Sue gave to me today in honor of her. And I think we all have a little piece of Sue that we treasure. And I'm going to pick up kind of on where Helena started about her love of nature. And one of my favorite memories is when all the girls, we drove out to a big empty field and we're going on a hike. And the big reason for that was the chocolate lilies. And she loved these flowers. And we just all walked together. And she was so excited every time we would find one. And she would tell us all about it. And we hiked until dark. And I think it was pretty much dark by the time we got back. But it's one of my favorite memories of her. And the other one is her beauty. She was just so gorgeous. And I would always ask her, like, how do you get your skin to look so beautiful? And she said, serum. serum. That's what you need to have. Put that serum on there. And I was like, what kind? She goes, doesn't matter. Any serum, just put it on there. So anyways, that's what I did. I got some serum and I'm hoping it works on me as well as it worked on her. I love her and miss her very much.
Yes.
I'm going to tag on to Helena, and I'm very glad to hear that it wasn't just me, because I talked to Sue one day and I said, oh, I just love that ring. I just love that hammered metal. And she took it off and gave it to me. And I wore it for a while. Then I lost the stone out of it. And then I got another one, had it put in, and I took it to the jeweler and basically gorilla glued this in so I don't lose it. And it's still one of my favorite rings. And I've had it on for several months recently. Not quite as long as COVID, but I had it. I was wearing it when she passed, and it was a lovely reminder of, as the rest of you have said, her generosity and her. What was good for me about Sue is her calmness. She was always calm, and I can be a bit of a energizer bunny, and she just was always calm, and that was a great contrast for me, and I appreciated that about her.
Certainly going to be missed in our group.
She wasn't just pretty on the outside, though. She was a beautiful person on the inside. Because I know what was special for me was how she listened and cared about everything that I talked about. And so if I talked to her about a problem, she'd see me a month later and ask me how my problem was. She listened, she cared, and that was part of that beautiful person that she was, both on the outside and on the inside.
She must have been an amazing kindergarten teacher. I mean, she touched so many lives. And as teachers, I think during the day, we have this kind of tunnel vision to get us through the day, and we're so focused on what we're doing. But just about every day after school, when the kids were all gone and she was maybe going to the office for copying, she would walk by my window and give a little knock, because I was always sitting there at my desk, just give me a little wave and say hello. And, that was just so comforting and so thoughtful of her, because she didn't have to do that, give me a little hello, but she took the time to do that, and I'll always remember her for that.
Some of my first experiences with her were all out in nature. If Helena might remember, we taught summer school one year and did the Hike of the Week Club. I don't know that we did a hike every week, but we did do a lot of them. And it was wonderful being with her every time, because, again, she knew all of those plants that I didn't know anything about. We'd walk the lake. I think at some point I had a baby on my back, and she was just right there with me. And that was 20 years ago. And also, to tag on her generous spirit, since she's passed, I've walked around my house and I'm thinking, that birdhouse came from her. She gave that to me when I moved into the house. And that blanket that's over there was a wedding gift from her. And all of those earrings that she brought back from a trip. And I have a cross that she gave me from her trip to Italy when she sang at the Vatican. And those things have become much more precious to me now. And I'll have to take good care of them along with my ring.
Awesome. And I was thinking about, Helena had reminded me that we got our masters together with Sue. And Helena, you want to tell the story about how, we're all sitting there going, what is this?
She always knew. Whenever we would just, it didn't matter what we were studying, what we were learning. Sue was just like a wealth of information. She wasn't like she didn't go on talking about things all the time, but whenever you needed something, we had a question, we're stuck. Sue, what is that word? What does that mean? All of us knew. We all would turn to Sue, and she would be there, and she would that's just, and she, very matter-of-factly help us out.
And never made you feel like you were dumb or less, intelligent than anybody else. She would just, matter of fact, let you know where the word originated from and how it became the word that it is, and the whole background to it. It was amazing. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this out and say that just want to say a few words and to offer to her boys, Greg and Ryan, and also to her favorite guy, Roger. So I would say her 3 favorite men in her life. Lucky to have all 3 of them. Our book club would like to present this garden stone, again, because of nature and her love of gardens. We'd like to present this to the boys and hopefully have them put it somewhere in her yard. And would someone like to read that for us?
I can read it. My mother kept a garden of the heart. She planted all the good things that gave my life its start. I am my mother's garden. I am her legacy. I hope today she feels the love reflected back from me.
So boys, I hope you keep this in the garden for her, and just a piece of us to let her know how much she'll be missed. And Roger, we didn't forget about you as well. And we know she also had a garden at the cat house, I believe it's called. And this one is for Roger. Go ahead.
When someone you leave becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure.
And I know, Roger, that she treasured you as we all treasured her. So thank you very much. And in closing, I would like to say that this is from all of us. All of us have brought special talents and interests and abilities to our La Mesa Dale group. And Sue brought us nature. She shared her love of plants and flowers and hiking whenever possible. Nature was Sue. Sue was at home in nature. That was her element. Sue was the kind of friend you could tell anything because she listened with her heart and responded with her soul. I only wish I had made more time to tap into that wealth of knowledge that she had. Her patience, her kind heart, and tenderness seemed to never run out, whether with her students, the parents of her students, her friends, or her loved ones. God bless you, Sue, and we'll miss you.